The Lord then spoke to Abram in a vision and said to him, "Do not be afraid, Abram, for I will protect you, and your reward will be great." But Abram replied, "O sovereign Lord, what good are all your blessings when I don't even have a son? Since I don't have a son, Eliezer of Damascus, a servant in my household, will inherit all my wealth. You have given me no children, so one of my servants will have to be a heir." The Lord then replied, "No, your servant will not be your heir. You will have a son of your own to inherit everything that I am giving to you." The Lord then took Abram outside beneath the night sky and told him, "Look up into the heavens and count the stars if you can. Your descendants will be like that, too many to count." Abram believed the Lord. The Lord declared him righteous because of his faith. Then the Lord told him, "I am the Lord who brought you out of Ur of the Chaldeans to give you this land." But Abram replied, "O sovereign Lord, how can I be so sure you will give it to me?" Then the Lord told him, "Bring me a 3-year-old heifer, a 3-year-old female goat, a 3-year-old ram, a turtle dove, and a young pigeon." Abram took them all and killed them. He cut each one down the middle and laid the halves side by side. He did not, however, divide the birds in half. Some vultures came down to eat the carcasses, but Abram chased them away. When evening time had arrived, as soon as the sun was going down, Abram fell into a deep sleep. He saw a terrifying vision of darkness and horror. Then the Lord told Abram, "You can be sure that your descendants will be strangers in a foreign land. They will be oppressed as slaves for 400 years, but I will punish the nation that enslaves them. In the end, they will come away with great wealth. But you will die in peace at a ripe age. After 4 generations, your descendants will return here to this land, when the sin of the Amorites has run its course." As the sun went down, Abram saw a smoking fire pot and a flaming torch pass between the halves of the carcasses. The Lord made a covenant with Abram that day and said, "I have given this land to your descendants, all the way from the border of Egypt up until the great Euphrates River. It is the land of the Kenites, Kenizzites, Kadamites, Hittites, Perizzites, Rephaites, Amorites, Canaanites, Girgashites, and Jebusites." Sarai, Abram's wife, had no children. So Sarai took her servant, an Egyptian woman named Hagar, gave her to Abram so that she could bear his children. Sarai then said to Abram, "The Lord has kept me from having any children. Go and sleep with my servant. Perhaps I can have children through her." Abram agreed with Sarai, so Sarai gave Hagar to Abram as a wife. This had happened 10 years after Abram arrived in Canaan. Hagar then became pregnant with Abram's child. When Hagar found out that she was pregnant, she began to treat Sarai with contempt. Sarai then blamed Abram for Hagar treating her so badly due to the pregnancy. She told Abram that Hagar despises her even though she gave her the privilege of sleeping with him, and that the Lord will make him pay for doing this to her. Abram responded by saying, "Since she is your servant, you may deal with her as you see fit." Sarai then began to treat Hagar harshly, which caused Hagar to then run away. Beside a desert spring along the road to Shur, the angel of the Lord had found Hagar. "Hagar, Sarai's servant, where have you come from, and where are you going?" asked the angel of the Lord. She replied, "I am running away from my mistress." The angel of the Lord replied, "Return to your mistress and submit to her authority. I will give you more descendants than you can count. You will give birth to a son, and you are to name him Ishmael, For the Lord has heard about your misery. This son of yours will be a wild one, free and untamed, like a wild donkey. He will be against everyone, and everyone will be against him. He will live at odds with the rest of his brothers. After this, Hagar referred to the Lord who spoke to her as the God who sees me, for she said, I have seen the God who sees me. Later, that well ended up being named Beer Lahairoi. It can still be found between Kadesh and Bered. Hagar then gave Abram a son, and Abram then named him Ishmael. At that time, Abram was 86 years old.